This is a paper based off of the essay written by Susan Key, Sound and Sentimentality, Nostalgia in the Songs of Stephen Foster. Many key elements to understanding the American mindset during the 19th century truly come to life thanks to the article Sound and Sentimentality by Susan Key. Having always been fascinated by the time period in question, I was fairly certain that I knew what conclusions to draw regarding the works of Stephen Foster. However, I was pleasantly surprised by many of the key themes that were outlined by the author, and I found it a very rewarding experience to read her conjectures as well as formulating and expounding upon my own concepts based loosely on her example. Most interesting is the notion of disparity between the working world and the dreamy lyrical one found in Foster's songs. It seems that people found in every time and place have inevitably found the grass always greener in yesteryear. In this, the people of the last century share a great commonality with the people of today, a yearning for an idealized existence of being. However, where this similarity ends and the disparity I speak of begins is the concept of creating one's own romanticized culture through necessity for escapism and survival. This is something which the people of the last century seemed exceedingly capable of accomplishing, unlike today, where the corporations seem to know no bounds, and the strong arm of merchandisers on a rampage create voracious consumers. Often, modern companies and individuals who create what Americans surround themselves with in the current day world seem to do so without regard for any kind of cultural continuity or the reality of the individual's ability to achieve an overall image of personal success. The 19th century did indeed contain much oppression and hardship. However, I believe that in many ways the individual had a higher chance to attain a modicum of self-respect, acknowledgement from others for their efforts, and perhaps even a greater feeling of self-worth in many cases. All because the subjects, such as those taken up in Stephen Foster's beloved songs, as well as other substantial influences, portrayed a version of reality that was actually possible to achieve in a lifetime without pretense of an unlikely large financial windfall. Foster's songs portray images of the cozy home, the contented family, the virtuous satisfaction of one's daily work, the sense that whether tragedy or joy befalls a person during life, these things are a natural course of events to be taken instead and with personal dignity. The fascination with reinvention, the fascination with reinventing or creating a set of cultural icons is certainly by no means new. While Stephen Foster's songs instructed Americans how to conduct their personal lives, Queen Victoria was consolidating the United Kingdom by taking up residence in Scotland and publishing a falsified vision of Scottish national identity. Some of her contracted artisans conjured up to her specifications. At least it can be stated honestly that an American citizen helped to shape America's emerging national identity. It is a very tragic thing that time and time again, those artisans who are most patriotic in making substantial contributions to our nation's character are bestowed an early, penniless grave. This was the case for Stephen Collins Foster. Such is the skewed, privatized world of funding for the arts and the near invisible national endowment for the arts that many more senseless deaths of brilliant creatives are likely to occur in our nation's future. Publishers and agents can always sell more if the artist's work if they're regrettably no longer around to reap their rewards. Very fascinating is the portrayal of the feminine overtones of this period during Stephen Foster's writing, which notably coincides with the first 20 years of Queen Victoria's reign. It has often been noted by serious historians and cultural theorists that conservative values and liberal values take turns with an imaginary pendulum swinging between the two in terms of general mass appeal with any society, and that this pendulum swings even faster in the Western industrialized world. Perhaps the dominance of patriarchy and matriarchy during a particular time and place is like another type of invisible pendulum or social barometer. In any event, it is here that I pose a central question. Did Stephen Foster create the phenomena of feminization with which ricocheted through America and branched off into the wild frontier? Or did he further an already occurring natural phenomenon that was taking place naturally in the overall acceptance of matriarchal trends sweeping North America and Europe at that time? I believe it is most likely a snowball effect. Foster can both be credited with both. To a large degree, he both created and bestowed a rough and ready America with a more genteel demeanor and a sense of sentimental fondness for their own unique set of circumstances. The lyrics of Stephen Foster's songs comparably stand up to the formidable poetry of his era, such as The Lady of Shalott and other works by virtuosos of classic literature. So, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. That's a Stephen Foster song, for example. Oh, my darling. We have so many songs that are Stephen Foster songs that we don't really know they are by Stephen Foster these days. They are so part of our common lexicon in America. There's a hole in the bucket, dear Liza. I would guess that's a Stephen Foster song. So, but I know she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. I know that one. So thank you very much for sitting in there and listening to my paper on the works of Stephen Foster. And I sincerely hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed reading it for you. Take care, and until next time, Mystic Ashram, Megan Finley signing off. Take care.